Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to get started, so could you please take your seats? Those of you in the back there that are just standing around, could you please come and take your seats? Mr. Witter, welcome, sir. It's a clear demonstration that this is your place. I know you're trying to displace JC, man. It's okay. You won't allow that, do you know? All right. So while others are joining us, may we stand for the national anthem. Be seated. Before I proceed any further, I now invite Reverend Delroy Coley, Senior Director, Strategic Planning and Performance, Monitoring and Evaluation Division of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, to pray for us.
Good morning, everyone. I invite us now to bow our heads in prayer. We cannot abandon life because of storms. The strongest trees are not found sheltered in the safety of forests. Rather, they are out in the open spaces, bent and twisted by winds of all seasons. God our Father provides deep roots when they are wide open, spreading branches. All praise be yours, my Lord, through all that you have made. And first, my Lord and brother, son, who brings the day, how beautiful is he, how radiant in all his splendor. Of you, Most High, he bears the likeness. All praise be yours, my Lord, through sister moon and stars. In the heavens you have made them bright and precious and fair. All praise be yours, my Lord, through our brothers wind and air. All praise be yours, my Lord, through water, so useful, lowly, precious, and true. All praise be yours, my Lord. All praise be yours through our sister earth, and for this we are grateful. Oh God, we thank you for this earth, our home, for this our country, Jamaica, with all its natural beauty, for the wide sky and the blessed sun, for the salt sea and running water, for everlasting hills rising from the plains and seemingly to reach up to you, Heavenly Father, touching the sky on the horizon, and the never-resting winds, for trees and the common grass underfoot. We thank you, Lord, for our senses, by which we hear songs of birds and see the splendor of the summer fields and taste of the many fruits given in their seasons throughout the year. And we rejoice in the feel of the warm tropical sun all year round, the timely showers of rain across this land. We thank you. We thank you for this resplendent natural beauty which you have drawn us into and placed us here. Grant us a heart wide open to all its beauty, a heart with the capacity to appreciate, receive, and to give back love and beauty to all our brothers and sisters in this shared space. Help us to accept our place as co-creators with you, as we use, preserve in what way that ensures that those who come after us will also follow our pathways, which are your pathways, and save our souls from being so blind that we pass unseeing when even the common thorn bush is aflame with your glory. O God, our Creator, bless the work of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, its leadership, in Pernell, our Minister, Dermond, our Permanent Secretary, Minister of Tourism, the staff, all the directors and staff. And we especially commend to you today, as this project is launched, the Plants and Gardens Division, Director Shanae and the staff, this restoration of the Holland Bamboo Scenic Avenue. We ask, Lord, that you bless all who will work on this project. We pray for this community that will embrace and this school and staff and students as they own and protect this resource, that may once again become a symbol of natural beauty which you have given to us in our land. And bless all the work that will be done across this country. Help us all as a people to be more respectful and protective of life as given by you, O God, so that we become less prone to violence and bloodshed. Almighty God, in giving us dominion over the things on the earth, you have made us fellow workers in your creation. Give us wisdom and reverence so as to use these resources, that no one may suffer from our abuse of them, and that generations yet to come may continue to praise you for your bounty. Direct and guide all we do in this function, so that at the end of the day, your name be glorified, and your land, your people, live to praise you through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Reverend Cooley from the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. Today is a very special day, ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here in this historic Holland Bamboo Scenic Avenue in the beautiful parish, and some would want to say the best parish, so much that they call it St. Bess of St. Elizabeth, to celebrate the completion of what we are calling phase 1 of the well-needed restoration of this world-renowned attraction. Here they say it's the most photographed place in Jamaica and could well be running the competition to be in the top 5 in the world. I must apologize because we will not have His Worship Mayor Derek Sangster this morning. Neither are we going to have Permanent Secretary Griffiths from the Ministry of Tourism, but both of them have sent their apologies for absence due to circumstances beyond their control. But we are aptly and well supported by their staff and other team members, as we will so recognize as we proceed. I wish to acknowledge at this time the presence of some very special persons who are with us. And before I even begin the acknowledgement, I want to say it's been a long while. I'm quite a privileged man this morning because I've never had the opportunity, Minister Bartlett, to be in one space with so many bosses. And they are all ministers. I feel blessed. I have 4 persons who are here this morning who I can easily well say that, you know, boss 1, boss 2, boss 3, boss 4. Present, past, maybe future, who knows? I wish to therefore acknowledge the Honorable Pernell Charles, a Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries. And ladies and gentlemen, you can really make him welcome at this year's space this morning. The Honorable Edmund Bartlett, Minister of Tourism. The Honorable Franklin Witter, Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. Of this 4 kilometers roadway is known worldwide. I mentioned, and you have to confirm, that it is the most photographed area in Jamaica. We are very happy that the Tourism Enhancement Fund was able to partner with the ministry on this project by not only providing funding, but providing guidance and support as we execute the project. And so it is my absolute pleasure at this time to invite Dr. Kerry Wallace, the Executive Director, to bring us his opening remarks. Please make him welcome.
Thank you, Chairman, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture. Now, you eloquently went through the salutations, and I'm right after you, and because we're so star-studded, half of cabinet is here, really. So, forgive me to say all protocols observed, singling out only the ministers, the #1 tourism minister in the world, Honorable Edmund Bartlett, our newly minted Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Pernell Charles, outgoing Minister of Agriculture, I'm not sure if we're still allowed to say that, Minister Floyd Green. Say former. Former, yeah. Always going places, so the going part may be right. And Minister J.C. Hutchinson and Minister Witter, it's great to see, again, so many powerhouses from the government here congregated at Holland Bamboo. And for good reason. There are so many wins to this project. So many wins. There's a win for tourism, goes without saying, the #1 photographed attraction in Jamaica. Tourism and industry that's growing leaps and bounds, and you will hear a lot more from our Minister of Tourism. But it stands to reason that in any project to enhance that tourism industry, it means we have to pay attention to Holland Bamboo. It means that these iconic attractions have to be not just restored, because that's a large extent of the project. We had noticed that it was thinning to a certain extent. We had noticed that there was depletion caused by former hurricanes. We noticed that there were fires as well that had burnt out sections of it. And of course, the beauty and value of the attraction was at risk. Of course, we couldn't have that. And therefore, when the Ministry of Agriculture looked at a project to restore and to renew, we were in support of it. And we're happy to be here today as a demonstration of that support and to have the actual launch of it. Now, we will, of course, be doing it in a very sustainable way. It's not something that we expect that we will come back year after year after year. It's something that the investments that we will make it sustainable. So it's not just planting bamboos, it's actually creating a nursery as well to ensure that fresh bamboos, the seedlings, and so on will always be available to ensure the constant maintenance and replanting of this attraction. Now, the environmental benefits, I think some will know quite a bit, but some may not. They see Holland Bamboo as mainly an attraction, beautiful part of Jamaica to experience. But the value to the environment, bamboo is one of the fastest growing trees. In fact, it's termed as a grass in the scientific category. It's also consumes more carbon dioxide than a regular tree. It also emits more oxygen than regular trees. And of course, the roots are such that in Jamaica's topography, where there are so many hills and so on, it acts as a medium to prevent landslides and so on wherever they are planted. On top of it, it's very beautiful, as we all know. So, of course, it made a lot of sense for us to jump on board to partner with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. And that partnership is also one of the benefits from this exercise, when we have that joined-up government approach to projects, to development. And in the case of tourism, we've seen that win right throughout multiple projects that we do in TEF. With our linkages networks, the majority of it is working across ministries. The Sports and Entertainment Network, we work in tandem with the Ministry of Culture. Our agriculture working group, obviously we work along with the Ministry of Agriculture. Our ALEX program is with the Ministry of Agriculture. We have the manufacturing working group, Ministry of Industry. Our craft development, we work with the Ministry of Industry as well. So it's really fantastic, and I want to underscore that collaboration that is key to the success of all these projects and all these ventures, and to thank the other ministries that have partnered with us to execute same. I want to single out my team at the Tourism Enhancement Fund, because they, of course, are the ones on the ground doing the grunt work. My Director of Projects, Johan Rampier, and his team that's here as well, too. So with that, I know there are a lot of persons to speak, more powerful. So I'm just going to take my bow now and say thank you and look forward to a great event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wallace. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it was mentioned that we have probably a substantial amount of the Parliament here this morning. So we're going to keep it going very fast. So, gentlemen, I caution, it's not the budget. And we know you really want to give us the support, but we'd appreciate if you keep it snappy. We're happy to have with us this morning Member of Parliament for Northwestern St. Elizabeth, Honorable James Charles Hutchinson, in whose constituency this beautiful attraction is located. And so I now invite the Minister Hutchinson to bring greetings.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Dermot Spence, my colleagues, ministers, Bartlett, Green, boy, this man, you know, he moves all around, Charles and Witter. Other distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the security, I welcome you all to the wonderful constituency of Northwest St. Elizabeth. There's a gentleman in here who always tells me which is the most productive constituency, but I will not say no. I will not, some of them understand why I am not removing the mask. When you reach, so you have to excuse me. But I'd just like to welcome you all to this constituency, and especially to have all of you who are here coming to see what can be done about the Holland Bamboo. Where we are with Holland Bamboo, it is one where we have, over the 25 years that I have been in this constituency, we have many organizations that have come and tried to resuscitate the Holland Bamboo. And there are many challenges that have come facing us getting the thing and getting it right. One of them is the cows. It don't matter what you plant. If you can't control the cows, then you're going to have a problem. The second thing is that they have come and they have taken bamboo from elsewhere, come here and planted it, and within a couple of months, it dies. That means water is necessary. Although bamboo is one that loves water, we have found that you need to have, especially the young ones that are growing, we need to have water. I want to say, and I'm going to be very brief on this, in that we have a gold mine over there, that property named Holland. It is a gold mine. And why I say so, it has about 4 wells on it. It is the only place that I know that you have to pump water off of the property into the river. Everything else you have to pump onto the land to irrigate. We have over there the land that is below sea level, and there are 4 pumps that are down there pumping water off of the land. Campari, who was in charge of there having cane growing, it was one where, Minister Bartlett, it was one where they were paying between $800,000 and $1 million a month to run those pumps. Electricity, $1 million a month. Now, I am suggesting that we have all these ministries here, Mr. Spence. We have a solar system. AIC can do it. They have been doing it to run pumps. So running that pump by solar will eliminate that $1 million, which can go somewhere else. We also can pump that water. Over there is not irrigated. We can get pipes, transfer water that goes into the river and irrigate the whole of the land. And not only there, over this side also, 400 acres. Nothing, no irrigation. And with that irrigation, you irrigate the whole of Bamboo Avenue. With that. And so I am putting the suggestion that the ministries that are here look and see how they can assist in getting the solar going, irrigation going. But on top of that, I have written to Minister Vaz asking if you can look at the possibility of providing electricity for the water that goes off into the river there. Minister Charles came and he looked and he said, this water is being wasted. He knows, and we want to put it to good use. So today, I welcome everybody to this constituency. And I know as long as we can work together as a team, we can make it successful. The only thing I say, we need communication. And I am speaking mainly to the Minister of Agriculture. We need communication as far as the Member of Parliament of Northwest St. Elizabeth is concerned. because most of the time projects come in for the bamboo, and it is after the project has started and going that somebody come and tell me. I could have been working with many of them, even just, let me not get to it, but even setting up a sign, and you're putting it at the wrong place. And after it's gone up, I have to come and correct it. Just consult, and we can work together as a team and get things going. So I welcome the project. It is one which I know will do well, especially for tourism. I don't want to get into the other benefits that can come as far as tourism is concerned, because over that land there, Minister Bartlett, one man over there, I don't want to cut the time too much, one man over there, in 2 weeks, he sells produce to the hotels in Montego Bay, and he makes $2 million every fortnight. If we could get every inch of that land going, we would be looking at the farmers over there providing your ministry with at least $150 million worth of food if we got it right over there. So I'm just saying to you, let us work together. We can build this country and build it well. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Minister Hutchinson, for a very warm yet challenging welcome. I was about to say, I know that you're supposed to be a very happy man today because you are witnessing the start of the restoration, but I think you have bowled another ball into the midst of everything. And so, Commander of the Order of Distinction, Honorable Edmund Bartlett, is being called upon. And that's why I use that distinction, Commander of the Order of Distinction. I'm sidestepping the situation. Minister, your expectations are sound, and I think we will be working together to realize those dreams. You know, fundamentally, the challenge that we face with the Holland Bamboo, there are many. But the most significant challenge really has to do with the level of pollution that the grass face. Yes? And one of the biggest things that could really happen is if we consider on a national scale, even as we sought to establish the Holland Bamboo Avenue as a legacy project, is to seek to redirect the traffic and to truly let it abound as a tourism attraction and scenic avenue for footwalk. And that really is what will solve the major problem that we face here. So that is a challenge for the parliament that is in front of me this morning. And so, Minister, I think I have enhanced your expectations. Yes. Assignment is therefore given. Let us see how we can work on it. Professor Spence has spoken. Ladies and gentlemen, today is also in our midst is the former Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Floyd Green, who also serves as Member of Parliament for Southwestern St. Elizabeth. Minister Green was very instrumental in the bringing to life of this project. And so it is my absolute pleasure this time to invite him to bring greetings. Please make him welcome.
Minister Edmund Bartlett, the world's best tourism minister. Yes, you can clap for that. That's a fact. Minister Pearl Charles, our Minister of Agriculture, Minister Frank Whittle, Minister of State, the Ministry of Agriculture, Minister J.C. Hutchinson, Member of Parliament for Northwest St. Elizabeth, of course, Mr. Kerry Wallace from the TEF, and Mr. Rampier from the TEF, strategist and advisor, Mr. Steve Wright, I see Mr. Myrie from the TPDCO, and Mr. Bamidele, other specially invited guests, members of the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Agriculture. I have to big up my parish manager, because if I don't, I won't get what I'm supposed to get. Mr. Samuels from RADA, our students, members of the media. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the best parish. And I don't know the second best constituency. Not necessarily the best constituency, but you're close enough. You're close enough. So today I really speak to you as a son of St. Elizabeth. And for us, Holland Bamboo has always been our most iconic location. I remember as a child traveling through Holland Bamboo and how you would marvel at the fact that you used to have to turn on your lights even in the middle of the day because the bamboo was so dark. And it was such a beautiful sight to behold. The bamboo has gone through some difficult times. Between hurricanes, between heavy winds, between fires, we have seen a significant thinning of the bamboo. And I remember when I got the opportunity and I engaged with our public gardens who are in charge of Holland Bamboo, I said we cannot leave the bamboo how we found it. Because the reality we don't reflect, but we are here celebrating the bamboo because years ago, decades ago, in the 17th century, somebody took the time to plant the bamboo. So we have to take our time to leave our legacy for the generations to come. So I really want us to give the TEF a big, big round of applause. Because oftentimes the Ministry of Agriculture is willing, but sometimes the pocket is weak. So when we went to the TEF with the project and said we needed the funding, they jumped on it and provided it. And I wanted to give the Public Gardens Division from the Ministry of Agriculture a big, big round of applause because despite challenges, they have been really doing well to manage the bamboo. And already, we've seen how the project has helped. The covering alone has given a brand new look. Mr. Liebert, our CEO from the Parish Council, took the bamboo, and it's something that we feel the restoration. So today is a wonderful day. It's a day when we are all collectively leaving a legacy that our children and our children's children will be able to appreciate. But I think PS has started it. This for us in St. Elizabeth can only be phase one. St. Elizabeth has given some of the most iconic tourism destinations you can think about. Whether it be the coolest bar in the world, Floyd Pelican's bar out in the sea, or the best peppered shrimp in the world, right there in middle quarters, and I'm inviting you all to go and buy some pepper shrimp when you leave here, or the beautiful Wyeth Falls. In this belt, and I haven't even mentioned the Rum Tour, in this belt, we have such great iconic locations that if we were really to channel the funds to develop them, then this would be a place that we would see so much more of our tourism dollar. So I see this as phase one. Phase two, Minister, I have some background knowledge. So we need a park in the local. We don't just want people to come and take picture and move off. We want somewhere where they can stop, they can know the history of the bamboo, right? And they can refresh themselves. And the land is already there, Minister Charles. I know you have that as part of your plans, and because you can't beg it directly, I will beg it for you. I am not there. So I do hope that the TEF will see phase two as developing a park for Holland Bamboo. Phase three is what PS mentioned. We really need to make this into a true scenic avenue. We really need to remove the traffic. We really need to have an alternative route. We have the land, and we really need, you know what I want to say, Minister? You know, when you go abroad and you see those carriages, can you imagine a romantic man like me coming and being able to take somebody on a horse and buggy carriage through the bamboo? Of course, that would be my significant other. But you get what I'm saying. And when you add to that, doing some work in middle quarters to ensure that the vendors have better facilities, when you add to that some of the work that we've already done at border, you can imagine how this neck of the woods, how the best parish will really give you the best tourism product. So, I'm happy to see it come to fruition. I'm happy to see the continuity of the project. And I know that there is so much more to come. God bless you, everybody.
I'm asking her to spray everywhere. Minister Hutchinson indicate that there's something moving in the parliament. We have to move with it. Thank you very much, Minister Green. I think you would have mentioned Lover's Leap, since you talk about how romantic you are. And maybe even the Black River Safari. You go down there with the crocodiles, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, while there are several species of bamboos in Jamaica, the species that is grown here in Holland is the bambusa. Originated in India and was the largest species that was introduced in Jamaica during those times, the 1700s. It was planted by the owners of Holland Estate. Yes, JC, all of that land across there, all of these lands, Holland Estate, and dates back to the mid-1700s. This is a noteworthy, historic place, and we should make every effort, as indicated, to preserve it. Accordingly, and hopefully to respond and to add to some of the nice things that we are going to be expecting, is no other than the Honorable Franklin Whittle. Of course, when he was coming in, I say he was the man of yard, because, you know, his tentacles are long and far-reaching. So without much further ado, let's welcome Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, who hails from this breadbasket parish of St. Elizabeth, no other than the Honorable Franklin Whittle. Please make him welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Spence, our Permanent Secretary. My political father, I always say that. And I will never stop, I will never cease from saying that the Honorable Edmund Bartlett is my political father. Yes, he understands. Honorable Colonel Charles Jr., my Minister of Agriculture, and my neighboring Minister, Honorable Floyd Green, and my political teacher now, Honorable J.C. Hutchinson, because I've learned a lot from him in terms of making sure that I'm here as a member of Parliament. Other distinguished persons from the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Agriculture, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. I must say that I'm very, very pleased to be a part of this exercise, and I just want to remind Permanent Secretary that I think the reason why Floyd did not mention Lover's Leap is because he wants me to say it myself. But I must say that given my own experience with Minister Bartlett and what he has been doing for tourism, and in particular St. Elizabeth, I have no doubt that whatever we ask for, we will get it. It's not coming from his mouth, but it's my own personal conviction. Today, as I've said, I'm very happy to be a part of this exercise as we seek to resuscitate and restore the Holland Bamboo. I listened to previous speakers and they mentioned the history of this, Holland Bamboo product and its importance to the development of tourism. And I remember going to New Zealand some years ago, and when I was waiting in the airport, I was going through some pamphlets, and when I looked, one of the first here I saw on the front page was Holland Bamboo. I was surprised to know that I'm so far away. And one of the first thing I could see was a picture of Holland Bamboo. I never forget it. And when I went outside and went into the bus that was taking me to the hotel, the first song I heard was Jimmy Cliff. Yes. So I always will remember that experience. And today, as I've said, I'm very happy that we are here seeking to restore the Holland Bamboo. I remember going to primary school, and my siblings were going on their, I think it was their first excursion from the school to visit a tourism site, and it was Holland Bamboo. Yes, and I was very happy at age 12 when I was given my chance to visit Holland Bamboo as part of our school development product. So today, I want to commend the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Agriculture for this collaboration as we seek to improve and develop the tourism product. I have my minister here who will elaborate and give more information as to some of those suggestions that were made by Minister Hutchinson and Minister Green. And I know that Minister Bartlett and Minister Charles will answer some of those questions. Therefore, I will not say anything more. Just want to thank you for being here, joining with us as we seek to develop our tourism product in St. Elizabeth. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Minister Witter. And I too, when I went to France some years ago, went up into the Eiffel Tower and saw all the way up in the top, one of the highest points in the world, I guess because the Eiffel Tower is all about going up, and the height is the Jamaica Blue Mountain Peak. You know, I mean, I said to myself, just about everywhere you go around the world. And for the commander of the Order of Distinction and the Honorable Edmund Bartlett, who have been around the world, I'm sure he can give us stories beyond what we can mention. Right, Minister? Well, we expect a few here this morning as he concedes to defeat in providing the support for everything that everybody has asked for. The man of the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, St. Elizabeth is known for many outstanding attractions, and Minister Green, everybody would have named some of them. But our speaker, while he does not hail from this parish, he is fully aware of the contribution to the growth of the agriculture and fisheries sector. You know where he's from. You know about them. Now, Minister Charles has come to the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries with burning energy and a desire to make things happen. And so his presence here this morning to endorse and to speak about this trailblazing activity is one which we look forward to. And so we now take the opportunity to welcome the Honorable Pernell Charles Jr. as he comes to speak. Please make him welcome.
I want to firstly thank this lovely lady who is so diligently keeping us safe. And yes, give her a round of applause. And let me use the opportunity to just really just thank Minister Bartlett for today telling Jamaica that, phase 2 and phase 3 is completely set and ready. I want us to give him a round of applause. There's nothing more I need to say. This is why I'm here. Colleague ministers, my Minister Witter, Green, Minister Hutchinson, JC, I'm uncomfortable. And I'm going to tell you why. Not because I'm around all of these St. Elizabeth people. My mother comes from St. Elizabeth, so I love St. Elizabeth. But your name makes me concerned. My grandfather is James Charles. And you are James Charles Hutchinson. And he was a slender, tall, witty man. He was a police as well, who used to journey across the parishes doing his work. And I'm telling you, I am concerned. Because it's a man who will leave his mark by saying, no man, let's name him James Charles and put on any other name. It's for him still. So, I don't know. And I have seen you and my father giggling and talking, So, anyhow, listen. I'm going to leave it there for now. Let me just, of course, acknowledge Dr. Wallace and Mr. Rampier and our Honorable Sivrite as well. Glad to see you in Jamaica, sir. And all of the distinguished friends that are here. A lot of my work has been ably done by colleagues. And so it's just for me, before I say anything else, just to say thank you to my predecessors. Thank you to Minister Bartlett. Truly, thank you to you and to the team who have really seen fit for us to identify this as a national project. I mean, you're not just dealing with what is a national heritage site, but this is the only of its kind in the Caribbean. And for us to treat with it in terms of restoring it and keeping it in a state which is mitigating against all of the climate change things that are going to affect it, I think this is something that Jamaica can be proud to say that we have put our money towards, and it's a good application of taxpayers' money. So a round of applause again for the team and for the collaboration. And let me thank my team. I see Chief Technical Director Palmer, Mr. Coley, of course, Ms. Bryan from the Public Gardens Division, who we have executed. The TEF team paid the $8.23 million. But we did the execution of what would have been around 400 of the 700 bamboo that is required to be replanted. And it was precisely started on September 18th of last year in recognition of World Bamboo Day. So this is the kind of collaboration, Yashima, that really is precise, it is calculated, it's deliberate, and in everything that has been done, you really see a show of the interlinkages between ministries and agencies that are required for us to move Jamaica forward. I want to just acknowledge, of course, the principal of the school, who is here as well. I believe she's a lovely lady in the polka dot. And in my last visit to the school, where we were putting up some hydroponics and speaking to the students, we were able to have a conversation about this community. I think the community, Minister Bartlett, is benefiting from the work that has been done here. And not just in terms of the aesthetics, but there's something about raising the value of the environment that raises the value of the people that live in that community. And this school, the community, the children that are growing up here will have a different mindset because of the deliberate effort of the government to change their circumstances. And I want to to just reiterate Permanent Secretary Spence, and I want to also just acknowledge your Permanent Secretary as well, because I know that the PSs are also integral in the execution of these projects. This is a priority for the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. And we have already defined, Minister Green, the phase 2, the putting in of the small gardening and the seating as essential. And it is something which we do hope to get the support. I think that it will be perfect for us to see the picnics. And I look forward to you as a romantic? A romantic bringing your nice picnic basket, and perhaps Permanent Secretary Spence will be able to go down there too and use the lovely garden. He's known also as a romantic. But it is essential. You know, I want to also say that we are pleased to note that the ministry is working with Heart NSTA Trust, the Ebony Park Academy as well, to conduct a research experiment on the newly established nursery. I had the opportunity to go out there with the head of our public gardens division. And she was excited to show not just the new bamboo shoots, but to show also the community farmers who are benefiting, who are part of the process, and who are involved in the planting. So this is not just about ministers and public gardens, this is about the people who are feeling now that they are integrated into the process, and if they plant it, they are more likely to do what? Take care of it. And that's really the message here today. I see Dr. Sasha, who is here as well. I don't know why you're here in St. Elizabeth. We want you to stay over that side. But it's good to know that there is this interconnection, because it is so essential going forward that as we protect these spaces, as we extend these spaces to the world and invite them, not just with you going, as you said, Minister Witter, as you went abroad and you saw the pictures. We want the international community, the tourists, the Jamaicans in the diaspora, Dr. Powell's friends who we can call, to see this as a space where they can come, they can stop, they can take their pictures, and they can enjoy Jamaica and enjoy the nature and the energy that we have and what exists in terms of what we can preserve. And I look forward to the installation of the bamboo rails, the planting under the canopy of the various structures for the vendors' village, and for the rest stops, and all of the things that are going to be required for us to truly construct a comprehensive space for all Jamaicans and visitors to enjoy. At the ministry, we do continue to play our part by encouraging good agricultural practices and by engaging in deliberate and targeted actions. Minister Hutchinson, I want to assure you, I have received the report from the AIC. You recall when we were here last and we did our visit, we instructed that there is a report further to assessment to be made. We are assessing that, and I will be back with you very soon, because we will be putting into productive use the several acres that are across the road. And contiguous to that are more acres that Jamaica will be putting into production. Because as you said, it is the only space that I have visited where we are pumping water out of the land into the sea, as opposed to pumping it across the land. And so there is a lot that needs to be done, and that we are intent on doing. And we're going to need your help. We're going to need your help as a member of parliament. I want you to know that I hear you loud and clear as it relates to the communication from the ministry. It is something which I will speak to the predecessors at the ministry like yourself about, to see what happened. That was a good one, Minister Bartlett. That was a good shot. Right? But it is essential that if we are in the space, we interact, and that we partner with the members of parliament and the councillors as well to make sure that our actions and our decisions make sense for the community. So I hear you loud and clear, and we will need your help to clear up the cows off of the Holland Bamboo space. I want to just close off by just saying thank you again. I want to say thanks to the division in my ministry, Public Gardens Division. You're doing very good work. I want to say thanks to my permanent secretary, Professor Spence, and all of the team who are consistently moving us forward in terms of our drive to achieve the strategic priorities of the ministry. And I want to say a big thank you to you, Minister Bartlett, Uncle Ed, because not only have you elevated the sense of pride for Jamaica in tourism, but I think that you have established a standard for ministers and colleagues, which, like Usain Bolt, is going to be very difficult for anybody to supersede. I think that should be what all of us seek to do, to consistently move the barrier and move the standards in the right direction. So thank you to you on behalf of the ministry, on behalf of the people of Jamaica, and to your team, because it's not you alone. I know that wherever you go, there's always a footprint before you of members of the team who are doing strong work. Some of them not as well-known names as Dr. Wallace and Rampier and all these things. Some of them names not known. But for those whose names are unknown, who are doing that strong work, I want to say thanks to you. I just want to say thanks to also my team at RADA. I know that in her absence, Acting CEO Young, Mr. Simpson, and the other RADA members, as well as the AIC and other agencies, I want you to know that I appreciate you as minister, and that without you dedicating your time, we as ministers cannot achieve the goals that we need to achieve for this country. We are going to continue the collaboration, and together we will move from Holland Bamboo and in St. Elizabeth across the country. Maybe we will stop, I don't know, Rocky Point. One love.
Thank you very much, Minister Charles. A very rocky point to end on. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, want to welcome to deliver a cultural item. Minister, we ask you to bear with us. The kids want to perform for us this morning, so let's make welcome the Holland Primary School as they come to give us a cultural item.
Recycle, Reuse and Reduce by Simone Blackwood Lewis. Recycle, reuse and reduce. Recycle, reuse and reduce. Recycle, reuse and reduce. Recycle. Recycle, reuse and reduce. Recycle, reuse and reduce. Recycle, reuse and reduce. Recycle. Rise to keep Jamaica clean. Rise to keep the environment clean, and the beauty of Jamaica can be seen. We're going to rise. Rise to keep Jamaica clean. Rise to keep the environment clean, where the beauty of Jamaica can be seen. We're going to rise.
I am on a mission to keep Jamaica clean. I am on a mission to make Jamaica clean.
We are on a mission. Vision 2030. Cool.
I am
Vision. Vision 2030. Cool, 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 cool.
Stop the burning, polluting, and vandalizing. Stop throwing away what I'm recycling.
Don't litter. Use the garbage bin. Don't litter. Use the garbage bin. Cleanliness is the key to keep Jamaica free from the cellar pollution and infestation from the penitentiary of litter mentality. Don't do it. Don't do it. Rise to keep Jamaica clean. Rise to keep the environment clean where the beauty of Jamaica can be seen or going to rise. Rise to keep Jamaica clean. Rise to keep the environment clean where the beauty of Jamaica can be seen or going to rise. Wake up, rise up. It's time to rise up. Wake up, rise up. It's time to rise up. Recycle, reuse, and reduce. Recycle, reuse, and reduce. Rise to promote proper waste management.
Reduce, take your hand on fashion. Reduce, take your hand on fashion.
Natural fertilizer can become the in thing. Do you know about the peeling skin? Do you know about the peeling skin? This is really good for your gardening. Make a compost. Heat this method is cheap. Rise. Rise to keep Jamaica clean. Rise to keep the environment clean where the beauty of Jamaica can be seen. We're going to rise. Rise to keep Jamaica clean. Rise to keep the environment clean where the beauty of Jamaica can be seen. We're going to rise.
Rise to keep Jamaica clean. Rise to keep the environment clean. So you can see the beauty of Jamaica. Another round of applause for the kids. This school, I want to challenge you, Madam Principal, to ensure that you get the kids to adopt the Bamboo Avenue, participate in it, and help them to grow with it as we restore, teach them about the bamboo and the importance to the environment. And of course, they will share their knowledge with their parents, and it will rest with them as they go about their life. Ladies and gentlemen, the restoration of the Holland Bamboo Scenic Avenue is an example of what can be achieved through partnership. We are happy that the Ministry of Tourism, through its agency, the Tourism Enhancement Fund, was able to provide funding, and they will provide some more for this important project. We are honored to have with us this morning the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Edmund Bartlett. It is my absolute pleasure at this time, therefore, to invite him to give the main address. Please welcome the Commander of the Order of Distinction and Member of Parliament and Minister of Tourism, Edmund Bartlett.
Okay, so JC, we are in the same path essentially, but for the records, I had it on. Well, I'm not sure why I was invited here, but I think I have an idea now. And I'm not so sure I want to come back. But you know, it's a funny thing when you are set up and then set upon by someone who says, I'm your political son. Another one who says, I'm your uncle. And others who might not have said, but would imply that I had something to do with their being here for 25 years in this particular geographical area. And then, of course, the other one who knows that I am his mentor. So when you get set upon by these persons who are supposed to be so closely connected and linked with you, how do you move? How do you get out? But the good news is that they all know that we are bound together in a symbiotic way, that we are locked into a process of creating the elements to enable enrichment of our people, not just financially, but socially. And that everything that we do is being done with that in mind. And I think that they are emphasizing the point that is becoming so much well known all over Jamaica, that is one government, and it's all a government that is applied in everything that we do. So all of the wonderful salutations that have preceded my arrival at the podium, and indeed I have spoken of the 5 people who are of essence here today and their own linkages with me. So to mention them now by name will only give you a conversation piece. Therefore, I will say to you that my son is the minister, Franklin Witter. He's a young son, you notice how young he looks? That my mentee is the young Floyd Green, who I have a lot of time for, and honestly I think is one of the really brilliant young arrivals on the political scene. And we have a lot of hope for him. He was talking a while ago like he has a succession idea. And since I have a succession plan, I'm not averse to ideas. But I have to talk to somebody else. And then my nephew, who is the minister of reference today, the minister of record of agriculture and fisheries. And indeed, we are blessed because with a Floyd Green and a Pernell Charles Jr., Jamaica's future, and definitely the Jamaica Labour Party's future, is well preserved. And I'm happy that they are in the cabinet. You know, I recall my time, and for the little humility that still abounds, I still hold the record of the youngest minister in Jamaica's history. As I was not quite yet 30 when I was appointed minister in the Prime Minister's office. So, I just wanted to say that these 2 young men in particular hold the hope for continuity and for excellence. And my grandmother told me something that I never forget. She said, chicken are go big, you see it at them foot. It's all right, guys, you don't have big foot. But it's a Jamaican reference that you know when something is going to be great because it is shown somewhere. And we are seeing it here, and I'm very happy to have you. JC and I are of another vintage, right, JC? And we are about to sing the wonderful verses of St. Paul. I have fought a good fight. I finished the course, and I've kept the faith. But in the hands of these really powerful young leaders, I think Jamaica's future is secure. The distinguished partners that we have here with us all from my ministry, and the point is well made. You know, I have no value. These are the values on which I thrive. Without these wonderful people, and one of the people from tourism, just stand up and let everybody see you. So as not to carry your names all. Wonderful. And on their shoulders I stand all over the world I go to make known that Jamaica is doing well. And I just want to say that before I go into talking about this element of our stewardship, to mention that, you know, Jamaica is recovering from COVID faster and better than most countries of the world. And at the center of that recovery is an industry that is known globally to be a real driver of recovery. And that the growth that we're seeing, 4 consecutive quarters of growth in a pandemic, is driven largely, and now I see this particular quarter that has been announced, that agriculture and tourism are the huge drivers of that recovery. And so I wanted to just preface my comments on the Holland Bamboo experience by indicating that tourism is not an industry by itself. Tourism does not exist on its own. Tourism only happens because other industries are happening. And if they don't happen seamlessly to create the product and the experience, there is no tourism. Because people don't come to Jamaica for tourism. People come to Jamaica to eat the wonderful food that is prepared by Jamaicans from the gardens of Jamaica. People come to Jamaica to stay in the villas and the apartments and the homes and the hotels built by people in Jamaica. People travel to come and drive in the cars and the vehicles and the buggies and ride the donkeys and the horses that are in Jamaica operated by Jamaicans. They may fly in airplanes that are built elsewhere, but they are coming to a Jamaican airport with all the facilities manned and managed by Jamaicans. And most importantly, when they move into the communities, they are coming to Jamaicans to see and feel and embrace and enjoy and finally consume all the wonderful attributes of this beautiful land of ours. So everybody is part of tourism. Every sector is part of tourism. It is that confluence of ideas, experience, people, activities and outcomes that come together to create the experience that we sell to 4.3 million people in 2019. And now, as I speak, we are 80% back on the road to achieving 2019. But when that 80% is talked about, it's only about arrivals. We are 90% in terms of revenue. And before this year is done, we will eclipse the revenues that we got from tourism in 2019. But I don't want to say any more because I'm speaking on Wednesday in the House. I'm closing the debate and I have to save some of that for then. So now, for decades, Holland Bamboo has stood out as one of the pioneer landmarks of St. Elizabeth, a parish steeped in history and culture. And you heard a lot about that a while ago. Before construction of the North Coast Highway made it more comfortable to travel from Western Jamaica using that route, many people preferred using the South Coast to be able to enjoy the very scenic beauty of bamboos forming a lovely canopy. And I just want to point out that the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, and his team are not content to talk about a North to South Highway or a Southeast Highway. You will notice that the East to West Highway is well on its way, and there are plans to carry it further straight through to Negril. So it will be an area traversed by all for the future. So never mind the comment I made, it's just a historic fact. But it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. I will talk about the bamboo, don't worry. So with its cool atmosphere, the Bamboo Avenue would also serve as a picnic area for travelers to pause and enjoy the delicacies of fish and bami, or the bag of juicy, spicy shrimp that they would purchase earlier as they passed through another noted spot, Middle Quarters en route. So Holland Bamboo also evoked the desire to take postcard photos of a very beautiful landscape. And it has been said by Professor Spence himself. That, you see how I elevated this morning? Just like how you put in me in distinction, giving you academic elevation. So it is one of the most pictured, if not most photographed scene in Jamaica. I think perhaps next to Dunn's River. Because Dunn's River is the #1 attraction, not just in Jamaica, but in the entire Caribbean. The Ministry of Tourism is also pleased to be partnering with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries in a joint effort to restore Holland Bamboo to its former glory, fully appreciative of the contribution it makes to the product offering that has made Jamaica the most sought-after tourist destination in the region. The history of Holland Bamboo and Bamboo Avenue dates back, I think, to the mid-1700s, and this is a little piece of the history I wanted to give you before I go into responding to some of these wonderful thoughts that have been expressed here today. And they are really great thoughts. So, in the mid-1700s, it was a planter whose name, I think, for the record, is a known merchant and politician. So, JC and Floyd, don't worry about it. A politician played a vital role in the origins of Holland and Holland Bamboo. And therefore, it is important that a politician should be driving it to a new dimension. And that politician was, in fact, one Mr. John Gladstone, the father of William Gladstone, one of Britain's prime ministers. In fact, he's said to have been one of the best prime ministers that Britain has had. And he was a great leader that Great Britain has now learned to respect and to revere. In fact, he led Great Britain through the many revolutionary changes that have taken place since the mid-1700s. You recall the Industrial Revolution and out of feudalism and all of that. So he was there and at the heart of it. So let us not also forget, in the context of the rich heritage of St. Elizabeth, that Black River, the town which is just around the corner from here, it received electricity before most of the countries and cities of the United States of America. And that the song is a great story of a lot of pain and difficulty, but a great story, and one that we should never ever forget, because it made a statement of what happened to our forefathers when we not only were chattels, but were just basic human cargo. And that we were probably used like ballast would be used. In order to lighten the ship, we were thrown overboard in a rough sea. So Black River has a lot to commend itself, and we're going to be talking about Black River some more as we build out the experiences of our tourism product in this part of the world. So the Tourism Enhancement Fund collaborated with the Ministry of Agriculture in looking at how to give value, add value to the Holland Bamboo experience. And I know previous to that, the TPDCO had worked in establishing, in fact, before the TPDCO, the predecessor to the TPDCO, which was JADCO, the Jamaica Attraction Development Company. And they built the stop, what you call the Travelers Halt or whatever. Well, I just want to say very quickly about that, because you've been putting pressure on me. Forget the 8.5 million that have been spent over the two periods to try to energize and refresh the avenue by planting, new bamboo shoots and roots and whatever. You are the technical people. I will help you with that, but you have to give me the agricultural finish that provides the aesthetic value that I can market. You didn't clap for that, I'm a little concerned. Because you put pressure on me earlier on, and now that I put in something on you. you understand? All right, so I want you to understand that this minister takes very seriously every dollar that we spend. And I am not happy with how a lot of our dollars, right, have been given its rightful place of enriching communities and enhancing sustainability. We spent millions of dollars on heritage sites across Jamaica that go in ruinate. We spend millions of dollars on community centers and play fields across Jamaica, helping to enrich communities that when you pass there, they are in ruinate. We've built many beach improvement facilities across Jamaica that when you go there months afterwards, it's again in disrepair. That has to stop. We are going to insist that the management systems and structures are in place prior to the implementation of any of these investment projects that we have. So that when we have finished putting taxpayers' money and tourist money, because it's tourist money, they put $20 out of their ticket price for Jamaican tourism to develop. And it is out of that $20 that every tourist pay when they come to Jamaica that we are building out these enhanced activities across Jamaica. And when they come, they need to feel good. And that their money has been well spent too. And our taxpayers who bear the burden of creating the infrastructure to enable them to move seamlessly in Jamaica must also feel that their money is well spent. So, Ministry of Agriculture, we have two discussions to have, sir. One is in terms of those physical assets that we will work with you to enhance and to enrich. But secondly, and most importantly, is the building out of the supply chain, the crucial supplies that the visitors need to enable Jamaica to be the place of choice and the reference point for the best gastronomy in the world. 42% of the expenditure of a visitor is on, let me hear you, 42% of the expenditure of a visitor is on food. And it is true that the physiognomy of visitors coming from different parts of the world requires a certain food type in order for sustainable activity. But they want constant reminders that they are in a culture. So they want to eat Jamaican food. And they want to eat as much of it as their body tolerates. Because let's not kid ourselves. While we discuss it and we know that there is a demand right now for over $350 billion Jamaican in agricultural produce for tourism alone. 350 billion. And only 20% of that is being supplied by our agriculture. A long way to go. And while we recognize that there are certain food types that we may not be able to produce here because of our geography and our climatic situation, we are powerful producers of fresh fruits and vegetables and tubers of a certain type. Yes, grains, which are the predominant food type that visitors all over the world eat, rice and flour and so on, we don't produce. But the value added from that for us is enormous. Fish. And we have a serious discussion to have, Minister, on fisheries and fish. There's no way in the world that an island state which has a special economic zone that is 25 times the size of the country, with water all over us in the sea, should be having a problem and importing fish. I go to the parish of your dear sister, MP Michelle, over in Bowden. And just outside of Bowden, the best tuna fish sail undisturbed in great shoals. Where's a shoal of fish? Yes. And they're going to be taken up by the guys from Nicaragua and those other places, and Honduras. Tourism has the capacity to consume everything that you can get from the sea. And so the challenge for the fishing industry, we can can the fish, we can do all sorts of things with it, and then we can export. So we want a serious discussion on the supply chain. You know, I've set up a team headed by Wilfred Bagaloo to look at the whole tourism supply chain, and also to work with Minister Hill in terms of the free zones to establish a supply logistics center there, where not only can we be producing agricultural supply that the industry needs, but that agro-processing as a key part of the value added, where the juices and the nectars and the jams and the jellies and the tomato paste, which you call ketchup, can be produced right here from our own local agricultural crops. Mango juice, there's no reason for the mangoes that we have except for the fruit fly issue, which we know. But we have a way of managing that. Or oranges, or guava. And all these are wonderful and delightful beverages and juices that they provide for consumption in the industry and also for export. Because one of the good things about tourism is that it enhances the market size of every destination. And so when we bring 4.3 million people to Jamaica, we are adding a minimum of 100,000 more mouths to be fed every day. So, Minister, if your market was 2.9 million, being the population, add now 100,000 more mouths per day, roughly 1.2 million more. And here's the story. That 1.2 million a year more that you're adding consumes at 5 times the level of your local citizen. The tourists will have 5 meals a day, probably 6. They drink more liquor than anybody else. They'll have 10 cases of water, while you're lucky if you have 4. They will drive the best cars. They will live in the best atmosphere, and they consume, because that's what they travel to do. Our job is simply to provide the things they need to consume. In 2019, before tourism was upended by the pandemic, $9.5 trillion was spent by tourists across the world. Do the math. 42% of that is food. Do the math. So, agriculture, you are at the heart of tourism. And I want to ensure that this symbiotic relationship is not a talk. There is no way that our budgets must be separated. If we are doing something together, let's do it together. It's one consolidated fund. So let us not say tourism must do this and this one must do that. We must do that, and let's think together and do it together. So I have a dream for this area. It comports somewhat with what you have been saying. And I drove through the area before I came here, up and down. I came a little early. And I don't like the travelers' halt that we have. I don't like where it is placed. I don't like how it looks. And it has not got the feel and the touch. You see, I'm into something called Blue Ocean Strategy. And the Blue Ocean Strategy really says that I'm not competing with anybody. I'm in a class by myself. I operate at a different level. And Jamaica's tourism must be at a class by itself, where you don't come in the Caribbean to find another Jamaica. There's only one Jamaica. And we are not competing with anybody else in the Caribbean. We are offering a value proposition that is unmatched and unsurpassed by any other. And so when we talk about building out attractions, that's where we go. We go for innovation, new ideas, new things, and things which appeal to people and add value. So, yes, there's a basic agricultural enrichment that has to happen within this space. We have to replant the bamboos, we have to make them a little thicker, we have to manage and culture it so that it arches properly and uniformly. Then we have to have the managers on the ground who keep a watch, JC, on how the bamboos are falling, where they're falling, quickly catch them, you know, either brace them back or remove them. So the Holland Bamboo Culturing Program, mark down that one, for which a budget has to be put. Then I want to create an experience in this area, born out of the culture, the history, and the heritage of this area. This area, in the 1700s, we know, it's a sugar-producing area. And there are retentions, musical, dance, yes? Gary? I know, because remember, I did my first stint as minister with culture, responsibility, information, and culture. I went from one community to the other across Jamaica with Olive Lewin, the great musicologist, ferreting out the varied musical, traditional music forms. So I know that Gere is this area, as Etu is to Hanover. And, well, Gere is Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth in this area. So we want to do that and expose our visitors to these dance forms. So we want to create the space and the arena for it. And I've been looking at the lands, JC. I was looking at the start because Charles needs to be re-engaged. We have to find a way to regenerate that community, that square. I mean, it's a mute reminder, a very sad reminder of the days when I was a student driving from George's Plain to Santa Cruz and what was there. We can restore it. But we want to remove that facility that you have there. I don't know, I'm talking with my team. I'm asking the executive director for TPDCO and E.D. Wallace and Johan Rampier to come back down and to take a good look at the area again, to show me where we can establish this particular attraction, where we utilize the history, tradition, heritage of the Holland estates with its food types, the shrimp and the bami and the fish, with its music types. This is Gere, and I know they do some brookings here too, and maypole. And all of these are ethnic retentions that are important to us because they form part of the culture and define who we are, and we must glory in it. And this is our 60th anniversary of independence, when we are trying hard for the world to know who we are, as we talk about defining the specificity of these people and to create the identity, the Jamaican identity, what it is that has made us into who and what we are. And the fact that perhaps we're not a country, but a great idea born out of this wonderful line that our forefathers crafted for us out of many, one people. And this confluence of cultures and ethnicities is what we're celebrating. And there are elements of it, retentions of it right here in Holland that we want to pull out and to give it a new life. So, team, let's listen to what has been said by all the ministers in terms of their own thinking in the area. Well, let's look at it in the frame of creating an attraction in this area that is reflective of the real people that made Holland what it is today. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, second to none, please give the commander another round of applause. I did indicate that he would fulfill your promises, and we are accepting graciously, humbly, and kindly, Honorable Minister, that you have directed the team to come back and take a look and for us to continue working. You mentioned that the wishes of the ministers are to be taken into consideration, but I humbly still ask that my little wish for the redirection of the road be considered. Yes, so a council of ministers. Okay. Okay. All right, so there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we will eventually have what we want for Holland, and the minister has so given this commitment. I want to thank you very much, Minister, for your commitments and your support, and to say that we are looking forward to working with the Ministry of Tourism, as you have indicated, to renew our commitment to ensuring that the work that you do, we make it easier by what we do in agriculture. We are going to be doing that. And to indicate to you that we are making serious moves in terms of the National Fisheries Authority to address the matter of those tuna that are going by. They're just sailing by, and we are going to disrupt that by fishing some of them. So we thank you, sir, and we thank your team, and we look forward to continue working with you. At this time, not to delay you much longer, but to quickly hand out some presentation, because the students were very integral in participating in what we're doing, and as a part of increasing the awareness of the project, we invited students to participate in competition talking about the importance of the Holland Bamboo Scenic Avenue. So Mrs. Shanae Marks Bryan, our Senior Superintendent of the Public Gardens Division, will now take us through a very brief award ceremony, after which we will go to do the unveiling. And that is the moment that all the ministers and other such people are waiting for. So we will leave the majority of the persons here so that lunch begins here, and then we will go with a small team to do the unveiling and then come back for lunch as the minister so desires. So at this point in time, could Mrs. Marks Bryan come quickly, please? Please make her welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, my honorable ministers. RPS, thank you for a wonderful leading the charge of our program. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Holland Bamboo. It's a privilege today to present a number of prizes to our key stakeholders for the launch of our Holland Bamboo. You know, our key stakeholders are our children, because if they don't know about why we're preserving Holland Bamboo, we won't have it for future generations, as our excellent speakers have made mention. So I'm going to be very brief. So we had an essay competition in this region where we allowed our students from the St. Elizabeth area, the Westmoreland area, to participate, and we had some top contenders. And I want to start first with the third place school. So we had our students from, our third place school came from Sydney Pagan High, and I'll ask them to come up to collect their prize. And Miss Anissa Smith. I will ask our wonderful MP, Minister Hutchinson, to assist with giving us some of the prizes for our third place. We have here for a wonderful third place, we have a nice trophy award. Let me just give it out. Okay. So what you have here is that we have a trophy from the division. We have 2 crop kits from High Pro, a $5,000 gift voucher from High Pro, and for her teacher, we would be giving a basket from Seprod. Thank you. For the second place winner, which is from Magotty High, I know that the students had to leave from Magotty High because they had an exam. So I'm going to ask their teacher to come and collect. Both our second place and first place winner is actually from Magotty High. Their names are, just for the record, Miss Antoinette Melody and Miss Kaisha White. So they will be receiving, just for the sake, tablets, an 8-inch for the second place from Digicel, a 10-inch tablet from the division, baskets from Seprod, 500 gift certificate from Hyper, 2 crop kits from Hyper for each, 2 passes from the Hope Zoo, and Evergrow baskets for the students. And of course, their teacher will get a basket from Hart, who's always contributing. So additionally, we have one final award to give to our wonderful... Oh, let me ask one of our ministers, Mr. Winter, to come and present it. I'm so sorry. I skipped that part. I'm going along. Mr. Winter to present it to the... It's for all of the, it's for both the first and second prize. And our final prize I would like to give out to our host school, which is the Holland Primary. I'd ask for their continued support to the Holland Bamboo Restoration. I would like to invite our principal, Miss Simone Doctor, to come and receive a gift basket. And I will ask our Honorable Minister, Minister of Tourism, to give this one. So I've not left anybody out on either side. That's a good one, sir. So we're giving her a basket and her gift certificate. Yeah, just give any one. And this one is sponsored from the Heart Academy at Ebony Park. And she'll be getting a gift certificate. We're going to come here and do a wonderful landscape from the division. I thank you all, and thank you all for coming out. Thank you.
You know, Minister Bartlett, you don't know how much I admire you, you know. When I was a student at Elim Agriculture School, I came to Stets to hear you speak. And I can tell you, from that time until now, I've always admired just the way you speak, the way you deliver. I had high hopes for you as a youngster, you know. I say I wanted to be like that man, you know. To speak like him, you know. You were introduced. Of course, I brought you back to Stets. Of course, I brought you back to Stets because of your heritage with Stets. You know, and I was enthralled at that time. And I still am in terms of the way you work and what you have done for the country. Really appreciate it, sir. And I want to thank you. If I had other commanding distinctions to give to you, I would do so. Yes?
My apologies. I was supposed to give the first place for Minister Charles to give out the basket, but it's the same school, so I wanted to have Minister Charles.
You want Minister Charles to give the basket to the first place? Who is the first place?
It's still Magati High.
Magati High, come forward quickly. First place winner for the competition. Minister Charles, could you please kindly do us the honors of handing them this lovely gift basket? Which one is it, Shani? Trophy and basket. These are products from who? Eve? Where? From Seprod? And Hypro? They also have a tablet,
Yes, from the division.
and they have a lovely certificate. I've always had a concern about giving out trophies, you know. Because, Minister, you can't walk with the trophy. So a trophy must always be accompanied by a certificate. The certificate is what you are able to show and to walk around and to prove that you were actually awarded something. So in my time at school, I got many trophies, but I was disappointed because I keep asking for a certificate so that it can build my resume and look good on paper. So you get all these certificates. I want to thank you, Ms. Bryan, for your presentation and taking us through the awards exercise in a very efficient and sufficient manner. Congratulations. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, I want to express my sincere appreciation to you all for being a part of this ceremony today. Special thanks to all participants who participated in terms of delivery on the program. It was certainly our pleasure to have you joining us today at this event. Thanks also to those who have joined us online and the viewers on Facebook and YouTube and wherever else. And of course, most importantly, our security personnel who have kept us secured throughout this entire exercise. One and all, a big thank you to the primary school here in Holland, led by the principal and the team here, and we just wish for you all the success as you move forward. At this point in time, the official party and members of the media will now proceed to the unveiling of the sign at the entrance of the bamboo. So we are inviting you to drive your vehicles, and we are going to go to unveil the sign. During the unveiling, the rest of the team, Minister, we are going to unveil the sign at the entrance. Just one, because we are pressed for time. During that time, the lunch will be served to the rest of the audience here, right here on the ground. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the close, and I want to thank you all wonderfully for being here. Thank you. Let's move to the unveiling, and the others of you can have lunch in the meantime.
Holland